Hello, lovely listeners, and good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Jill. Hi, good morning, everyone. Caught me on the tail end of a yawn
Yeah,
already.
when
Oh,
I could see her, I was like, oh no, she's yawning.
yeah,
I mean, oh yay, it's always a good thing. It
yeah.
is.
Oh. And my eyes started kind of itching right before we hit play too. Like, wow, okay, we got some energy movement, which was feeling a little bit like yesterday's molasses. We talked oh, I say that word, now my eyes start to itch again. Molasses. And let's unbox
Oh,
that.
uh, yeah, so did yesterday's molasses energy irritate anyone?
Yeah.
Let's
Or,
unbox that. I love that.
so a lot of people in this, it was a slow energy, but the crazy thing is, I actually got a lot done yesterday because I didn't put all this emotion and um, fear or anxiety or annoyance. I just kind of went with the flow. I actually got a lot done. I was very impressed with myself, but the day felt slow. It was the weirdest feeling
Wow.
to be in that energy.
Yeah,
And
it was
yep,
kind of confusing. It was a little bit of confusing energy that way. I had a similar kind of thing, Kim, where I was my day wasn't moving fast, but I had a lot of things that got done and also a lot of things that needed to get done. And it all flowed quite well. And then like towards the early evening, it started to just kind of go haywire on me, which I think was more internal on me. Like, you know, like I was like, this isn't making, I wasn't conscious of this, but I think what may have been going on like in my head is like, this isn't making any sense. This energy's been slow. I've needed to get a lot done. I was in the flow. Now I'm not in the flow. Now I am in the flow. Do I need to make things happen? Like, I just kind of didn't know what to do. And it's like internally, I started throwing a bit of a fit. And I was like packing things into boxes inside of me. Like, I'm going to take this frustration and push that into a box and store that in my knee. And I'm going to take this. I don't
yep,
understand this. This is new terrain, and I don't like it because I just don't put that in a box, and I'm going to store that in my left shoulder. And
yep.
I was not conscious of that at all at the time.
And here we are now unboxing things that we boxed up yesterday from the change in the energetic flow, the change in how the how your spirit was going with the flow, and then it's like your brain caught up to, say, a thought process of how this should go. So instead of going with the flow and letting the brain, letting your spiritual energy just move around with the ebb and flow, your human brain, I call it human brain, kind of like the ego, also stepped in and started asking all these questions and was like, wait a sec, this is different. Well, I should probably look into this. I should probably like figure out what this is. And that's what happens. We get ourselves like asking almost too many questions, which, don't get me wrong, I have said in the past, ask questions.
Yes,
Ask
but you
questions.
haven't said,
So,
but you have not said ask too many questions.
correct. But it's the tendency, the old belief system that there's a new feeling that you want to label, you want to put something to it, you want to connect the energies, you want to connect a memory with this feeling. And the old belief system stores it then, puts it in a box and it stores it. That's not how we're supposed to be moving forward. This is supposed to be, okay, I don't need to store it anymore. I don't need to put it in the box. I don't have to put a memory. I don't have to put a concept around this. I was just being in the moment. There's nothing wrong with that. But we wanna,
Yeah,
we
and
wanna, we wanna
actually,
put the words.
the
Yep. We have a
well, we
lag.
have a yeah we have a lag and a delay today, that we tried to get rid of and we just can't. But that's what it is. The memory, the referencing things, the say as we called it, storing it into a box and keeping track of it for later, if you will, like that's all stuff that we, like you said, the old belief system that we used to think we had to do, and now we're just being like, the memories will still be there, they're still getting stored. The stuff that you need is still getting stored. Yep. It's that we're being asked to stop storing, and when we say storing, we're talking about storing in our body, in our minds, in like who we are, all of who we are, that we were like overly involved in it. We were starting to store too many things. So that's what happened last night when I talked about putting things in a box and storing it in my right knee, and then putting this thing in the box and storing it in my left shoulder. I became conscious last night that I was starting to do that, and I didn't language it that way. I didn't language it with boxes and storing it in my body, but I was just aware that something was going on, and I was holding on to stuff, and I was starting to pack it, carry it in my body, and I just did a few things, very simple things to like let that go. I don't need to store these things in my body. Now, if there's a memory or an experience from last night that I need to reference in the future, it's still in me. I just didn't need to be involved in terms of putting it there. Does that make sense?
Yes. It happens so fast how we want to go back to the past situations because we keep the memories, the emotions with the memories. And we don't have to store. Okay. They're like, people are going to get confused with the good feels because they want the good feels with the memory. Absolutely. It's more of you can remember that there was a good feeling in that moment. But you don't have to associate, say, I'm going to pick on a wedding, okay? Everybody has their own experiences when they go to a wedding. Some people have some jealousy. Some people have like a whole bunch of like love and happiness at a wedding. Some people are just like, well, they didn't want to be there. They're forced to be there because of a family member. They didn't know this family member and they just sit in a corner and pout, okay? Doesn't matter. Everybody has a different experience from that wedding. So what has happened in the past is that wedding, whoever had a good feeling, they want to hold on, they want to lock, they want to box that good feeling up with that wedding. So now all the weddings going forward, they have a preconceived judgment or notion that this is what's going to happen to every wedding. So then they could be, what can happen is disappointment can happen to you then in the future very easily. Because the memories of that wedding, of a wedding, is joyful happiness, and then you didn't get it, so now you get bummed out. Like, this is the repeating pattern, the unboxing that we're trying to do.
Right, the unboxing of those negative things. Now, the other person, say, who did that exact same scenario with a wedding, maybe went to a wedding and had a lot of fun and didn't box it, didn't store it anywhere, just really like let it go. It was a really enjoyable thing. They end up having that beautiful, enjoyable experience at every wedding they go to, regardless of if the wedding's good or not. But they weren't involved in it. They didn't take that memory, box it, and make it happen. And that's what we were describing yesterday. That's what you and I, Kim, say both of us experienced yesterday. And then today, and we're still like a little bit like, it's hard to put into words. At this point, it's an interesting concept to convey. I think the more we all like play with it and become familiar with it, it'll probably get a little bit easier to say language and convey. But at this stage, it's like pretty early on. This is a shift that seems like it's just happened literally within the last week of letting go of old belief systems and old habits. Yeah. It's kind of like the potential. Like, think about it this way. You just cleaned out that storage room that had loads of boxes for years, and it's clean. And you're just looking at it, and you see all of the potential, but you haven't decided yet what you're going to do with that room. So you're just sitting in that potential, just like looking at it going, this is amazing. That's kind of what, to me, that's what I'm getting, where we kind of are like, this is amazing, but at the same time, we kind of, a little bit of trepidation that we're overwhelmed by all of the possibilities. We're not in excitement yet about it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Uh, the molasses energy, it continues on in
Yeah.
today. It really feels that way, but yet there's also this weird feeling, this weird energy that things are actually moving quickly. So you're like, maybe the time's going by slow, but you got a lot of stuff done in that time frame. Um, and like
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stuff and all the boxes in the room, and it's like, man, it's going to take me forever. And it's like, well, you have the time. Like, we're slowing things down around you for you to actually get a whole lot done in this room. And it's just the matter of taking one box at a time.
Yep.
Yep.
Right. And you know what came to me as you said that one time, one box at a time, and I love that, Kim. Just love that because the turtle in the hare who wins the race.
Yep. Yep. Ah. Hey, and guess what? I'm that
And
turtle.
we'd use the word. You're what?
I am that turtle. I actually have
You
one of my
are.
Adam totem poles is a turtle. So, yeah.
Turtle. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
You had used the word turtle yesterday. Turtle. Energy. Yeah. Molasses. Turtle energy.
yeah.
It's cool. Play. Just play. We say that a lot too. Play. Play with it.
Yes.
Just be very conscious that you're not resisting, reacting, judging, any of those things. And as we said, you don't want to be storing things, putting it into boxes and storing more things. You use the metaphor of storing them in your body somewhere. You can use the metaphor of seeing a storage area, like we said, that, had boxes in it. You're trying to clear it out. You don't want to be putting more boxes in there if you're trying to clear it out. Whatever works for you. That's a little bit of the tension, if you will, that's going on with this flow energy, but a lot getting done. Is that
Yep.
we need to make sure that we're not in there being overly busy and causing troubles.
Yep.
Hey, she's got a big yawn.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone.
Very good. Yeah, thank you, Kim. And I will say, it's interesting, just before we close here, that once we mentioned the leg, it got a lot better.
It did.
I don't know if you'd still hear. Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
it did.
So even
So
if you
odd.
just heard this podcast and none of this really is landing or making sense, it's going to help in some way. We know it.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes we get a little philosophical. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. All right.
It is. Well, thank you again, Kim.
Mm. Yes,
Thanks
thank you, Jill.
everyone
Thank
for
you.
listening. Until next time.